The city never sleeps, and neither do the dreamers who build its pulse. From every corner of the globe they come. Visionaries, creators, leaders, each carrying a spark ready to ignite the world. This is not an event, it's a revolution of rhythm and reason. A symphony of minds, a movement of momentum. Sifu Rafael, Lancelot, Jose Escobar. Together they set the stage for brilliance. This is the NYC Experience. Mastermind, light up this city. They coming from the east, coming from the west. Knowledge on deck, put the truth to the test. Leaders in motion, hearts in sync, dropping wisdom so deep it'll make you think. They bring stories, sweat and flame, different faces, one shared name. Elevation, that's the sound. NYC Experience Mastermind, where purpose is found.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning, Jose. How you doing?
Wonderful. Prepared.
Yes. Well, let me start off by just saying congratulations, Jose. Just an incredible event. Just an incredible experience, and just knowing all that you went through is just a dynamic evening, weekend, and you should be very proud.
Thank you. It was very challenging. As you guys know from personal experience, putting on events is not easy. And leading up to something with a lot of magnitude that has something unique attached to it, like the Guinness World Records event, record, and then all of the possibilities of things that could go wrong with the circumstances is just very high. So the pressure was high. It was a different kind of pressure I haven't felt putting on an event before, because everybody's staring at the expectation. Even though in the verbiage it said attempt, people still expect it to happen. So it is what it is. But it was a tremendous success, and here we are, and the smoke is settled. So I'm excited. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, it felt like an attempt to me after I started understanding all the things and that people will not show up, because as winners, we say we're going to be somewhere, we're automatically there. But you forget that there's things that happen that are out of your control. So I never even thought about that. So when people started saying, well, this person canceled and that person, I was like, oh my, are we going to do it? So I didn't know until he actually got up there and said, we had 144, and then the whole place, just including myself, just erupted. I was like, yeah. So that made it even more spectacular. So it was just a wonderful event. And then again, knowing what behind the scenes, what you went through is just all the more spectacular that it was accomplished. So again, congratulations, man. Congratulations.
I have to say that as incredible of an event that it was, and yes, congratulations to everybody who was in the room, because everybody was a winner. The people who showed up were definitely winners. The people who did not show up can speak about that. But here's the thing, and the reason we're doing the show today is to talk about after the event. That's when the winning really starts to escalate. What do we do after an actual event like we had this past weekend, with the connections, the friendships, the collaborations, the intentions, if we don't follow up? Who's following up this week?
Nice. Yes.
Yeah, so to speak to that, I can just tell you that anytime I go to an event, like yesterday on the way home, I had, it was like, let's just say 3 hours of time. And that at that time, because it's still in close proximity of time, I started sending out DMs to people that I connected with, that I felt good synergy. Said, hey, let's connect and explore win-win, and here's my link, and blah blah blah, and all the things. So So yeah, for me, I do. There, they say the fortune's in the follow up, right? Right. But so I believe in that to some degree, and I also don't believe in that to some degree. Now, what I mean by that is my philosophy in business is I'm a bullet train, right, from Japan. So I'm moving fast and I'm moving in one direction, right? And I don't come back around to say, hey, are you ready to join? Hey, so what's happening? Are you still gonna do this? Like, hey, and like hammer people like that. For me, like I stop the train and people get on or they don't. And if they don't get on, you can still get on the train, but you're gonna have to find a helicopter or something to catch up to it later and jump back on, because I'm not coming back around to you. Now, if I go to an event and I meet somebody and they haven't had an opportunity to talk to me and I haven't talked to them, then I will follow up with them like I did yesterday on the way home. I would say, hey, it was great meeting you, blah, blah, that kind of a follow, like an initial follow up, right? But not a follow up after the follow up after the follow up, trying to like chase people. Like that's not really my thing. And for each their own. I'm not saying it's wrong to do that. I'm just saying it's not my style because I just have enough people. There's enough people out there that want to work with you, that want to connect with you, that want to do things with you, and that see the value in that mutual beneficial relationship. That there's, in my opinion, there's no need to hound people for things.
I like the way you brought that around, Jose. It's not about hounding them because you can't. And even when Lancelot, you said, "Oh, some people didn't show up," because one of the things that we, in human nature, we cannot control another person. We can only hope that they'll do what they're supposed to do. And so, with following up, well, we don't know what other people are going through in their life. And for me, I do follow up and I do say, "Hey, great connecting," and so forth. But if they don't respond, I will shoot out another one and say, "Hey, would love to have a virtual coffee with you," or anything of that nature. And then I will shoot out a third one and probably say, "I really did enjoy our connection. I hope you did too. If it still makes sense for you to reach back, I'd love to." So, because we don't know what people are going through. Maybe, they lost their luggage or whatnot, or life got in the way. Um, and one of the things that we do at the New York City Mastermind Experience for sure is that we don't just take business cards. Don't get me wrong. I have a few. Some people are like, "Yeah, take my card, do this, do that." I have a few. I haven't threw them in a book. I have a couple of people who gave me cards, but this is all the cards that I got from the event, right? So what winds up happening is I will take their cards because I'm never going to say your card is no good. But I always do the following, which is, hey, let's take a selfie, and then let me send you it. And the way I do that is, what's your cell number? And I'll have them put it in, and I'll send it to them. I say, and I send my information. But then now that I have their phone number attached to their image, that's the better way for me to follow up and say, hey, man, and I'll send the image again and say, remember when we met here? And that's the way I do it. But I think that we don't know what people are going through because they may come to an event and they might just have something that really is not cool for them that happened in their life, and they just showed up because they made a commitment. And those are the kind of people who, when they make a commitment, they show up anyway, right? But that doesn't mean that life didn't get hectic for them.
Well, I for me, I use the contact how you guys talked about a few months ago, and that is take the selfie and then write the name down and put the picture with the name. And this week, I'll begin to follow up on all the people that I made contacts with. But it's much easier when you go through your phone and you can see the actual picture of the person and the name, and you already have the telephone number. So I've learned that through listening to you guys. So I don't really take the cards. I say, okay, hey, let's take a selfie. So I did a lot of that. Let's take a selfie, and then I'll put the number along with the picture, and then follow up. So I'll be doing a lot of follow up this week. So I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people take notes as well when we go to an event. And after the event, do we even look at the notes? Anybody?
I always have like a thing that because I commonplace as I don't just look at the notes. I take the notes that are the most important things and then I put them away in a filing system for future reference. So part of that process involves me recapping the notes. So yeah.
We had a
Absolutely.
whole a topic, a discussion on that a few weeks ago about notes and going back and looking at, there's jewels in those notes that you've taken, and sometimes you need to go back and read them, because you'll find that a lot of the information you need, you've already written down, you know.
Those are the important things, right? And I think that if we follow up in a way to strengthen the relationship, to maybe even negotiating an actual conversation when we're in person, saying to them, what's one thing that is exciting in your life currently, and then you take a note on that, and then you follow up with saying, "Wow, I love what you're doing. Good morning, Gabby. I love what you're doing. Would love to talk more about that." And who doesn't want to talk about what makes them excited, right?
Absolutely. I go back to the last weekend and just the energy of the people in the room,
Mm.
all there for one specific reason, authors, you know, um, all there to break a record, and just the energy in the room, the love in the room. It was fascinating to be around it. And then when we actually accomplished it in the Guinness Book of World Records, the guy said that you guys have 142 authors, to see everybody erupt and then experience the aftermath of that, when everybody with Jose and they were holding up the certificate and people were taking pictures. That's the kind of energy that you love to be around, because it's infectious, and it kind of gives you and re-energizes your battery pack to continue to do what it is that you're out here doing, and that's trying to help people be the best that they could possibly be. So
Mhm.
again, I go back to that last event, which I thought was spectacular.
So speaking of what we're talking about, because some people, just to give context, some people that are watching the show right now have no idea what we're talking about, right? In terms of the event we're referencing, because we were there and we're talking like people know that what we're
Right.
talking about. So just to clarify very quickly, without going down the beating that horse, this weekend, if you don't know, and good morning, Gabby and Michaela, nice meeting you, Michaela. So so Jim Hetherington is a member of the Connected Leaders Academy, and he's a good friend of mine, and he's in Canada, and he had this idea to create an event around a Guinness Book of World Record, right? So he wanted to break a record that was created in Canada many years ago, because it happened in his backyard and he wasn't able to be a part of it. So he had this dream and this vision of one day breaking that record. And he said, well, I'm a publisher and I can do the book. And the world record is the most authors signing a book simultaneously in person, right? That's the actual world record. So, and the world record is 126 authors, right? So he came to me and said, Jose, I have this idea. Would you be interested in partnering with me? Because he knows I'm well connected with my community, Connected Leaders Academy, and he has the publishing side, and together we could make it happen. So I said, yeah, absolutely, I'd be in, and of course that's what happened. So we decided, co-branded his organization and my organization, co-branded to put this event together. And obviously we needed a support team, so we had amazing ambassadors like Emilio Roman with Co-author Network and Ama to come in and support and market the thing. And we had other people. We had a whole team of people in the back end that were helping kind of liaise things, right? But it was me and him who were doing the event. So the world record was 126, the one that stood in Canada, and we needed at least 127 to beat it. Otherwise, we weren't going to beat it. And the verbiage of the event was Guinness World Records attempt, because, and we had to put that legally, we had to put that verbiage because we don't know until we know. We have to break the record, right? And would you believe we had 165 authors that were in the book that were supposed to be there in person, and little by little throughout the day, people were not showing up. Oh, so and so pulled out. Oh, they're not coming, or they're not coming, or they're not coming. Some of these people we already knew before we showed up, and then a lot of these people started falling down because there was a lot of name tags left on the tables. We're like, what's going on here, right? And the panic started to settle in a little bit, but we broke the world record officially with 142 authors, right?
Yes.
In person, tremendous success, awesome. And then the energy in the room was palpable, right? You could feel people's energy, and you can see the excitement, and people were collaborating and networking and taking pictures and getting to know each other. And that is the power. This goes back full circle to the NYC Mastermind Experience. That is what we are creating, right? We're creating that ambiance and environment. And at the NYC Mastermind Experience, we're not looking for 165 people in the room or 142 people, right? We want to make it more intimate, more hands-on, in a way to where you actually get to interact with everyone. Because there's people in the room this weekend, as amazing as the event was, I didn't get to meet them because there was just too many people, right? So, and it's a good thing, but there's pros and cons to everything. So at the end of the day, when it comes to the follow-up piece, since we're talking about the post-event piece, most opportunities don't die necessarily because they lack follow-up per se. They just lack the nurturing. I like the word nurturing because we don't nurture the relationships, right? It's important to nurture relationships. An event creates a connection. The nurturing process and the follow-up creates the opportunities.
Absolutely. And I have an opportunity coming up this month, and it's going to be in Michaela, you're
Hi,
in the
Michaela.
Bronx, New York.
The BX.
We're doing an event in New York City on June 19th, which is Juneteenth. And we may get Coach Teo to come down. We've got a couple of other people coming. And we're going to be meeting at Everdeen, which is a rooftop that we love, part of New York City Experience. And we're just going to celebrate and meet each other. It's not a paid event. You don't have to pay to come to it. So if you want to join us June 19th in New York City, just reach out to me, reach out to Lancelot, because we're going to have fun. And if we can squeeze it in, we may even get Jose to come up. But it's a Friday, right? It's not a whole, so it's probably like from 3 o'clock on, right? I know Lancelot and I will probably catch a train, go into the city, New York City. I think it's on 28th and something, right? So,
Yes.
Michaela
What day
will
is
be with us June 19th.
Okay.
So it's Juneteenth, if you will, right? And somebody said to me, do you know what June 19th is? I said, absolutely, I do. And so we're meeting there to celebrate one another, to celebrate culture, to celebrate our brothers and sisters. So we're there for that, right? It's going to be a phenomenal. Listen, everybody, you pay for your own drinks, you pay for your own food. That's it. There's no admission, there's anything like that. And the reason I like doing stuff like that is just to get people in the room, just to say hi to one another. That is
In New York City.
in New York City.
That's why, what better place than that? And after we finish winning the championship, NBA championship, it's going to be palpable. That energy is going to be palpable in the city, boy. Yes.
Well, I will see.
New York Knicks, right?
I will see what I can do to be there. I can just tell you, I will be coming back on the 17th from Greece. So, and that's a long trip already, of what I'm going to be doing there. And I just need to make sure I can make that window happen. So, but it sounds amazing. And guys, I'm just finding out about this live, okay, with you guys. So, anyway.
Well, you can put on your calendar just in case you can't make it, right? And the reason I did is because Zoraida Morales is going to be staying at the Virgin Hotel, and the place we're going to be at is in the Virgin Hotel. It's on the 3rd floor. Now they have another rooftop on the 17th floor.
Nah, that's not. Yeah, I don't like
I
that.
don't like it. Now the 3rd floor rooftop is called Everdeen.
So wait a minute, Zoraida's going to be at that hotel?
She's staying there that week.
How did she know? Did you tell her about it, or she just stayed there? Oh,
I know how it worked. You know that.
Okay. You know what I say? That is too ironic. You know what I mean?
Zoraida is going to be with me in Greece, so she's coming back to New York, is what you're saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
See that?
But I saw her. I mean, not saw her, but on one of those Born to Risk, she had mentioned that she was coming to New York. But that's crazy. She's coming right after she comes from Greece. Wow. She's a traveler.
And she's staying a week. She's staying there a week, and then she's going to go do other things as well.
Nice.
Wow.
So I love the fact of after the event, right? Because after the event, it's not the only event that you should go to. You should consider the opportunities that present themselves at every event and whether you have to pay for it. Now, there's different options to going to an event, like the one we're having on June 19th. It's only going to cost you your time and whatever you want to eat or drink. That's it, right? Now, there's other events where I've paid thousands of dollars to be at it, and I've gotten some value, but it's the value that you get into an event. It's based on you. You cannot go to an event and expect them to pour into you, which we do at our events. But what I'm saying is for you to take advantage of the opportunities. Because if you sit like a wallflower in the corner, you're not going to benefit, even if you pay $10,000 to be there. That doesn't mean they're going to pour into your brain or your follow-up or your follow through. So when you go to an event, any event, you need to take action. And this is what we're talking about today. After the event. So the event should live on probably for 2-3 weeks, because that's sometimes by the time you get to talk to somebody, right? I see a couple of people who have made comments. For example, Michael Woods, hey brother, thank you. And it was great meeting you, Michael. And Jose, thank you for introducing me to him, right? And so we have Karen, right? And Gabby and Michaela who chimed in today. So thank you. But again, it's the follow-up, and the event doesn't die when you leave it. It should still live on for a couple of weeks after, because the follow-ups may be, hey, I'm traveling, I'm doing this. For example, Jose, you introduced me to somebody who had reached out to me for a long time, and I wouldn't accept their friend request because I didn't know who they were, right? And I was yesterday looking at 343 friend requests I have. I was like, that's a lot of friend requests. And you know what I have done? Not accepted them. One is, if you send me a friend request and you have one post, it means you're dead.
You're a bot. That
To
means
me.
you're a bot.
And I don't know what you're doing, right? So I don't want to be in your circle if you're not active, right? Why are you going to reach out to me if you're not active? So I don't connect with people like that. And then some of them are just extremely different, is all I'm going to say. So I don't take every friend request, because my time to be able to spend with people is so critical. So Jose introduced me to Scott Hall, and Scott had been reaching out to me for a long time. And I didn't know who he was. And I was like, yeah, I don't know this guy. So I didn't. But when I met him in person, it changed everything. And I went and I accepted his friend request, and I sent a friend request back and so forth. But now he's in Mexico today. And so it's going to be a week before he and I can probably even connect again, because I don't want to bother him when he's in Mexico. So is this connection going to die because he went to Mexico? No, it's going to wait a little bit, and the opportunity will show itself up when he's back in the States.
Well, Go ahead, Lancelot.
No, I was going to say by continuing to correspond with him. You know, I look forward to you getting back. Let's do a calendar meeting. But also with those friend requests, especially on social media, for those that might be new at this, you know, it's very important to be careful about who you're accepting your friendships with or friend requests with. You know, look at the friend requests, see if they have other friends that's in common, because there's a lot of bots and there's a lot of people that are duplicating friend requests. So you have to be very careful out there. You have to know how to maneuver it. And for myself, I have a great deal of friend requests, but unless I know you or unless you have several different things on your posts, it's because I get a lot of friend requests where if you go to their page, they've only got 2 or 3 posts or 4 or 5 posts. That means that's usually a bot. So you have to be very careful maneuvering out there with social media, you know, because there's a lot of people that don't have good intentions. So just because you have people that are friend requesting you, do your due diligence and make sure that there's some type of connection and make sure they're present on social media. You know what I mean? And how you do that is you go to their page and look at what they're posting. Look at what they're posting. And if it's not in line with how you feel and how you think, do not accept their friend request. And that's very important.
Right. I also don't accept friend requests from kids. Right. Because what do we have in common? Nothing. Don't get me wrong, I teach kids, but I don't need to be on social media with kids.
I agree.
Yeah, I get a ton of friend requests as well, like pretty much all of us. I can't even count like how many are sitting there, because usually the people that I end up being friends with are people that are referred to me or people that I met personally. Right? It's literally referrals, like where somebody says, "Hey, Jose, you need to meet so and so," and they already come from a vetted, trusted source. So I accept that friend request. Whether I keep that friend request or not depends on whether this person is engaging, whether they're involved in social media, whether they're in my world in some capacity. But if they end up taking space, because we accept friend requests sometimes to just take up space. The people never like, comment,
Right.
never even. Not only do they not like and comment on anything to engage on any of my social media, but they also don't even post themselves. So I'm just like, well, if you're not on social media, but you just sent me a friend request and we're friends now, then it's just not going to last very long, right? So that's another thing. But I can tell you, I'm very particular about who I accept as friends because, unfortunately, Facebook only allows 5,000. Right after that, people have to follow you. So there's that, and I'm always hitting that 5,000 benchmark, and then I delete like 20 people, and then I meet new people, then I add more, then I get capped again, then I delete people, and so that's kind of what I've been doing. But overall, yeah, the social media game is interesting. It's important to be active because if you're not active, people don't see you, and if they don't see you, then they're going to go see somebody else and go follow somebody else. So when it comes to the follow-up process and everything we're talking about. For me, I think it's important to follow up within 24 to 72 hours, literally, because speed builds trust with that person that you're kind of trying to collaborate with or connect with. Delay is a distance creator, right? It creates distance because now the momentum, I'm sure you guys would agree, at least most people I think would agree with this, that momentum has an expiration date to it. Right? Momentum, when you have momentum, you have to keep it. You have to keep the momentum. You got to take action on that momentum. A thank you message, a congratulatory message. Since we're all in this event that we were at the Guinness World Records event, it would be like, hey, congratulations on blah, 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 blah. I wanted to congratulate you. I didn't get to give you a hug and congratulate you in person, but this and this and this. Whatever it is, right? Sending the friend requests, sending a calendar link, sending a voice note like I did on the way back from where I was. But just know that if you lose momentum in general, and in this case in a relationship, trying to regain that momentum is like going up an escalator backwards underwater. It's not that easy.
That's a special escalator. Let me share this with you guys. Take a look.
We are here in Tampa, Florida for the NYC Mastermind Experience. It was an absolutely epic weekend.
This was our fifth one, the sixth one.
Coming up in Hot Atlanta, that's right, Atlanta, Georgia, and our host, the great T.O. Clay.
Hey, you don't want to miss it. Come September, the new Hollywood of the South, ATL, baby. Make sure from NY to Tampa to Atlanta, Georgia. Can't wait to see you there. Peace.
Light up the city, every rise tonight. Every speaker bring it down in that fire, that light. No funny, no fear, just truth on the mic. It's the NYC life, we unite, light up.
Yeah, and Gabby is right there. She's Build Trust, right?
That's right.
It is a great reminder.
Right.
And so, Lancelot, you just celebrated a couple of things, right? One is The Veteran came out, the movie.
Yes.
You were shooting a movie while this was happening.
Yes.
And you celebrated your birthday yesterday, so happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Yesterday was an incredible weekend. You know, first with the Guinness Book, and then I ran home, and my family was here to celebrate with them. So it was quite an exciting weekend. Now, after I finish here, I got to take the car and I'm going to Philly because I'm going back to Philly because we're getting ready to do Good Day New York to promote the veteran. So
Good Day New York, Good Day Philly.
I mean, Good Day Philly. Yes, Good Day Philly. So I'll be
when
going.
Is that
back.
happening? Is that Wednesday?
No, that's today. I'm leaving today.
Today you're doing.
Yeah, I'm doing it today. In fact, right after I finish here, I got to get in the car and take off.
When is that being aired? Is it tomorrow?
That I don't know. I'm not sure. I know they're taping it today, so it's coming on this week. I just don't know. But as soon as I find out, I'll let people know. But there's just a lot of stuff going on right now. You know, as an actor, one of the best things to be able to do is to have a movie coming out and shooting another movie simultaneously. So that happened, and that's just blessed and humbled by some of the good things that's happening, but it's about the people that you surround yourself with. So, and because proximity is power, right?
Congratulations, Lancelot. I'm very happy for you with your all the gigs you're getting, and again, momentum. We're talking momentum. So when momentum is there, you gotta seize it, right? You gotta with it, and momentum begets more momentum. If you're
Absolutely,
you know how to do it. So happy for you, man. Very excited. Hopefully, Sifu and I can make it to a premiere one day. We'll see.
Yes. In fact, I invited you guys before I knew how many tickets I had. The first thing he said was, because I had the lead in this movie, he said, "How many tickets you need?" So I started, and I got you guys in this. I had 7. He came back, "I can't give you 7." I'm like, "All right, well, you asked me how many I wanted, but you guys were on my list." So hopefully,
I am so just giving you a hard time, but just kind of messing around. But no, congratulations. Very excited. As a matter of fact, I had to step aside when the video came on because it's Noah's birthday today. My oldest son. He turns 19. Can you guys believe that? 19 years old. So he's headed out right now to go out somewhere to do something bright and early. So I wanted to catch him and give him a hug before he walked out the door. So I had to
wait a minute, he's Gemini. So he's June 1st. You're 2nd.
June 2nd. Yeah.
Oh, so he's Gemini.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, tell him I said happy birthday. He's a wonderful young man. Wonderful young. Yes.
And he's doing great things also. So congratulations on all that.
Yep.
When we consider being at the event, right? Some events are so important for us to take a selfie, to take a picture, and what we do with the New York City Mastermind Experiences, it goes with us wherever we go, whether it's this event, that event, but we always, especially if we're together, we always do a meeting after the meeting, after the meeting, after the meeting, after the meeting. Then we do a morning meeting. So, and then we do another one, then we keep going. So after the event, if you're able to still, because we're talking about after the event, and what we do in New York City Experiences, we do something after the event. If people are still in town, we continue that collaboration. We continue to build those friendships, those relationships that can last. And sometimes what I do is I'll just sit back and listen to the conversation that I'm listening to the people in front of me. Because in order for me to absorb some of the things that are going on, I have to be quiet. I have to just go like this and pay attention, right? And we understand that I only learn when I'm not speaking. I never learn when I'm speaking because it's already in there. But I gotta listen so I can absorb and learn.
Absolutely. And that's the power of silence and calm. I mean, when you're silent, you're able to just think. People think, people that are quiet are weak, but in actuality, the people that are quiet are the ones that are the most powerful because they're sitting back, they're assessing, they're sitting back, they're learning, they're sitting back and cultivating their thoughts. And that's what you're talking about, the ability to be silent and think. And that's very important. We need to learn how to be more silent and take more time with ourselves, gathering our thoughts and planning our actions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. So, since we're talking about the good
Yes.
morning, Angeline. Good to see
Morning,
you.
Angeline. You're absolutely right.
You're
Yeah.
right.
Since we're talking about, I guess, following up and the process of following up and all the things that we got to do on that front, because there's a list of things we can do, right? But to take it one step further, something that I have done historically that I don't know who else does this. Maybe all of you do it, but if you don't, you should consider it, right? And it's not just following up in general, but also prior to that, after you leave an event, and if you're taking notes on your phone or you're categorizing things on in your notepad or whatever, is organize your relationships, right? So the new connections you're making at an event, you would have to organize them in a particular order and essentially categorizing, right? For example, I'll give you a couple of potential categories. Potential clients could be one, right? People who would actually buy my thing. Referral partners is another, right? Because some people, not everybody you talk to, could be a client. Some people are just going to be a referral partner, where you're going to say, okay, you do this, I do this. We're in different industries, we do different things, but we can send each other business, right? Collaborators is another section. There might be somebody that you meet there that you're going to say, oh my gosh, you know what? You're in Iceland and I'm in the US and I've always thought about doing a mastermind in Iceland. That's a collaborator right there. Boom. Right. Or speakers. If you're hosting events, you can be like, oh, this person would be a great speaker at my next event. Right. And you're categorizing them under speakers. Right. A mentor. You might be talking to somebody to where it could be whoever it is in an event, and you see that they're further along in their journey in entrepreneurship and whatever whatever they've achieved, because either they spoke on a stage or they were the keynote at the event, or just a mover and shaker, or somebody unassuming that was in a seat with all of us sitting next to us, but they're like a 8-figure earner that's crushing it, and you're just like, you know what, this person could be a good mentor for me, right? Or a strategic partner, or guess what, just a friend. And friends in business go a long way, because business can be very lonely, right? So it's only lonely if you don't have a bunch of friends. And that's why community like Connected Leaders Academy is an important thing. So maybe just a friend. Maybe this is just somebody who's going to be an encourager, somebody who's going to be motivating me, somebody that I can run ideas by and back and forth, and we can just stay connected and that. And some of these people might filter into different categories, not just in one. Right. So, but you have to organize it and have your thoughts kind of clear in terms of where you want to go with this relationship, and not just randomly go where the wind blows.
Yeah, for sure. I love the bunch of different categories that you listed, Jose, because a lot of people don't see people that way. And sometimes somebody may see you in that category. Don't be offended. Don't be offended, because you may fit perfectly in their world. But if you're offended by how they want to collaborate with you or even have you be in their world, if it's worth your while, then be in their world, including if it means you being a mentor to them. Because guess what? You might mentor them and they might throw you tons of business, not from themselves, but they may know people who may want to have you as their coach or their mentor or so forth. So there is a lot of possibilities and opportunities if we allow that to happen. So we have to be open in situations like this. We have to be open to explore. And what happens is that we assume how somebody wants to be in a relationship with us instead of asking, how can I serve? How can I help you? How do we stay in each other's world?
Yep.
Like that.
So let me ask you guys a question. Of this event that we were just at this weekend, and this is not a trick question. There's no right or wrong answer, but this is just a consensus that I'm about to conclude. See if I'm correct.
Hmm.
How many would you say, not how many, would you say that you walked out from this weekend with new contacts that will turn into relationships that will move the needle for your business? Would you say that you have, whether it's 5 or 50, would you say that you walked away with that value from this event?
Without a doubt. I had several people ask me if they can work with me without me even saying a word. They just said, oh my gosh, I need to work with you. I said, great, let's have a connection, let's have a call. And it wasn't me selling them. You know what sold them? My actions, the way I move. That's what sold them. And it wasn't my dance moves either.
What about you, Lancelot?
I came away with at least 5,
Yeah.
that I'll be reaching out with, and I think that can definitely move the needle somewhat. Again, I'm going to start my contact starting today on, because I was celebrating my birthday yesterday and all. But I would say at least 5.
Love it. And also Farah in the comments. Good morning, Farah. She's saying yes. I'm assuming she's saying yes to the same question. So good to see you, Farah. And I'm glad you were there with us this weekend. That was fantastic. Yeah. So okay. So my assumption is correct, because again, it doesn't matter if it's 5 or 50, Lancelot or Sifu. At the end of the day, all it takes
Is one.
is one power connection that can
Right.
completely change the trajectory of your business, right? It can open up a new gateway to $100,000 of revenue in your business. It can get you on that stage that's going to open up the floodgates to all these new clients. It could be that podcast that's going to get you out there that has millions of downloads, and then now you're on that show. It could be that long-term relationship that ends up becoming a brother or sister for life. It could be whatever, but it's just that one. You just need one. You don't need 5, you don't need 10, you don't need 20, you don't need 50, you don't need 100. Now, if you're blessed and you have 5 of those, or you have 10 of those, well, now you hit a grand slam and you're really crushing it, right? And I always shoot, my goal is always 3. I want 3 people that are going to be game changing for me from one event, at least 3. That's my goal. So, but listen, that's what is. So I said that here off the cuff. I didn't prep you guys for that question. It was just off the cuff, live, to see what was going on. Not because that was my event and Jim Hetherington, or not because of any other reason. Then it's just an event, and you can go to another event. And then we have the NYC Mastermind Experience, which is what we're talking about here. Which our next one is in Atlanta. If you look at the bottom of the screen here, September 25th to the 27th, NYCMastermindExperience.com. Go to the website, get your tickets. I'm telling you, I grow my business one event to the next event, to the next event, to the next event. That's how you gain momentum. Too many of us have a gap like this big in between events, and that slows your momentum. That you're missing people that need to be in your world by not going to events. So I'm telling you, if you have a budget for anything, forget the watch budget, forget the handbag budget, forget the
The
movie
food budget.
theater dinner nights every weekend budget. Forget the going to like wine tours every other week. You know, like save the money and have a budget for events, an events budget. You should be going. I'm telling you, if you are not going at the very minimum to 4 events a year, 1 per quarter, if you're not doing 4 events a year, you're missing the boat. You're just missing it. I recommend 12 a year, 1 per month.
Mhm.
I recommend 1 event per month. And it doesn't have to be a full blown high ticket mastermind or like something where you pay $1,000 and you got to get a hotel for $1,000. You got to get a car rental or a flight for another, 800 or 500, because then it starts to add up. And who has a budget of $5,000 a month? I mean, I get it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying a virtual conference counts. A small mini mixer in your area counts. A local network event.
19th.
Yeah, like the 19th that he's referring to, or like a BNI meeting, in-person networking or whatever. But you should be doing at least 1 a month if you want to really see exponential growth in your business, because that's where the new blood, the new life comes into your business. You're basically giving your business an influx of oxygen to keep going, right? And too many of us get stale. We get stale in business and we lose momentum and it's kind of boring and we're like, oh, there's nothing happening. It's because you're not showing up. Half of the battle is showing up, and you got to make the effort to do that. So food for thought. 4 minimum. Ideally, you want to work your way towards 12 a year, 1 per month, and you have to create a budget for that. If you have a budget for something, make sure it's that.
I got to say, Jose, you're 1,000% right. And what ends up happening, especially if you're a coach, if you're a mentor, if you have a book out, if you want to get on stages, all these different things. But you say, I can't find clients. I have no clients. I have no this. I have no that. If you're not out there knocking on doors, do you think the customers are going to come knock on yours? If you don't market it, if you don't advertise it, no. You think that phone is going to ring? No. So the most important thing is, if you want to make money, you got to get out. You can't stay behind closed doors. And so I know so many people say, I'm not going to events this year because I can't afford it. I'm not going to events because I'm trying to build my business. Hello, Jose just gave you the recipe to build your business. You need to get out to events. Listen, if you never want to come to our event, I'm okay with that, because we may not want you at our event anyway, because you may not have the right energy. We only want people at our events like Angeline, who's been to our events, right? So think about the people who come to our events, especially the New York City Mastermind. These are people who are movers and shakers, and they collaborate, they do deals, they build friendships. Like I said, if I had not gone to this particular event, the people who said to me, I want to work with you, would never have had that chance to even say that to me, because they wouldn't have met me. Now, I didn't say, hey, buy my product. I didn't even say that, not even for a second. They asked me, how can we work together? What do you do? How do you do this? And then all of a sudden, a little bit later, they go, hey, let's make sure we connect. I want to hire you. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. I'm excited for that, right? So I already have some already scheduled conversations that are happening for people who want to work with me because they want to hire me. But had I not been to this event, nothing would have happened. If I stayed home and watched Netflix or whatever it is out there, it would not have happened. Would they have met me? No, not at all. Would I have met them? Not even close. Would I have made not only just those connections, but other people who may be just friends, other people that maybe I say, hey, you know what? I need to hire you. Because have you ever been to an event and you said, my goodness, I need your services because your services are going to take me to the next level. And even this weekend, I was talking about, if you guys remember, I was talking about I want to buy other people's mistakes. And we can get into that if you like.
What is that again? You buy other people's mistakes? What is?
Yeah. So Lancelot, the reason I want to buy other people's mistakes is so that I don't have to make them. It's going to be cheaper for me to buy your mistakes than for me to make them myself.
Oh,
Making them myself may take me 2-3 years, but if I buy it from you and I learn those mistakes, that means that you have the know-how, so I don't make the mistakes because you already bought them, you already went through them. So
got it.
therefore, boom, right? Huge difference. Leon is in the house. Good morning.
Good morning, Leon. Now,
Morning.
this is a good example. Leon and Angeline is a great example of the relationships that you create when you go to events. They both came to our New York City Mastermind event in Tampa. And from that point on, we've all been connected. We've all been on each other's shows. We support one another. And Leon also was in Philly for the event the other day, and she sat with us. So it was just an honor and pleasure to have her. But all of that was established relationship-wise at the New York City Mastermind Experience. So it just goes to show you when you reach out, you connect, and then you follow up. These are the kind of things that happen. You develop these kind of wonderful relationships. And this is a great example of two people who we met months ago who we are still connected with in a real way.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Angeline has this question. We can all probably get into it. And we actually, if you listen back, I know, Angeline, you didn't log in when we first started. But if you go back, we've been talking about how to create ROI when you attend any event, not just our events, right? But when you attend any event, it's the connections, the follow through, how to negotiate anything in life, right? You negotiate it whether you're going to an event or not. Now, here's the question. You need to negotiate whether you're going to come to our event or not in Atlanta, because I hear it 1,000 times over. Yeah, I'm coming to your event. I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, I haven't seen you buy the ticket. What are you waiting for? Here's the cool thing. Right now, our tickets for the New York City Mastermind Experience at rock bottom. For 3 days, regular general admission is $197. Yeah, it may cost you something to get there, but $197 for 3 full days? That's crazy. Now, to come VIP is right now, currently it's $597. What does that give you? It gives you dinner Friday night. It gives you lunch on Saturday, and it gives you dinner Saturday night. Where do you get that to pay so little? Jose, have you ever been to an event and you paid $500, $600 and you get all that?
For 3 days, and you multiple times, the answer is absolute, unequivocal no.
So we are giving it away currently, but the price is going to jump up. So if you're not taking action now, if you're going, oh, I don't know if I can make it, and then you're saying, how do I get some ROI at my event? You got to be there. You have to make the connections But the follow-up, what you do after the event is how you get your ROI. But you will not get any ROI, even if the event is $1 million. And if you show up correctly and you make 100 million or 50 million, is there a return on your investment? Of course there is. But are you willing to spend? Jose said it beautifully earlier. If you're not, if you're spending money, oh, I'm going to go buy this nonsense here because it looks good in my living room and do this. But is that little trinket that maybe cost you $200 going to benefit you in your goals and your future? It may be something good to look at, right? Listen, I have over here, I'll even pull it out. I got this just for the fun of it, right? I got this thing because I'm going to put it on my head. I'm going to do drawings. I'm going to do all this fun things. That's a couple of $100. Now, why do I have it? I didn't buy it because it's a piece to just have entertainment. I bought it because it's going to have ROI for me. I am intentional about everything I do. So if you want to make more money, get out of your comfort zone, because nobody made more money sitting on their couch. I never know any entrepreneur. I had a billionaire reach out to me while we were in Philly, and he wanted to connect with me this week. He reached out to me, right? He's a friend of mine that I've been in touch with, and he's a billionaire, and he reached out to me because he wants to talk to me about something. So we have a scheduled call. Now, why would he reach out to me? Who am I? I am the person that met him at an event. That's who I am. So who are you is the real question too.
A lot of golden nuggets mentioned there, Sifu. Thank you for sharing all of that. And I see that Karen said yes to Atlanta. So hopefully I'll see you in Atlanta, Karen. It's very exciting.
Yes, Atlanta, let's go. But here's the thing. Go to the website at the bottom, because you can say Atlanta, you can say whatever. Actions speak louder than even typed up words or said words. Actions are the real key.
So, Angeline, when it comes to your question about ROI at events, you have to fear not. Whether it's your question or you're asking for somebody else, I can tell you why. Because in Santorini, Greece, my keynote talk that I'm going to be doing is how to get ROI from live events. And eventually, I'll probably offer it as a masterclass, but I'm going to hold it exclusive for this particular event in Greece. So I'm going to teach you exactly how every event I go to, I get ROI. Like, I never go to events and walk away in, even or in the red. I'm always getting ROI because I understand what is required before you get on the stage, when you get on the stage, when you get off the stage, and if you're not a speaker, how to work the room effectively to get ROI, because the ROI is in every room. If someone doesn't get ROI, it's because of one of two things. Either you don't have a product or service, so how do you expect to get ROI, right? Or B, because you have one or something or some things to offer, but you're not effective with your skill set in terms of getting people to convert. And that's just a skill. It's not anything outside of that. It's not a talent. It's not something that's God-given. It's just, you just need to know what to do and how to do it, right? So anyway, but that's, again, we'll learn more about that in Greece. And I'm excited for, of course, Atlanta. But something, a little golden nugget, since we're all here, and I'm trying to, give value as we're talking at the same time, is consider this. If you were at this event we just had in Philly, the historic Guinness World Records event, and you were there, I know many of you met a lot of people in the room. If you want to immediately show value to somebody, the best thing you can do is connect one person that was at the event to another person that was at the event and say, hey, if you guys didn't meet each other, you should know each other because of this and because of this. Or you met somebody at the event. Let's say I ran into Michaela at the event. I could say, Michaela, oh my gosh, I know this person in my world that you should know. And this person, I just ran into Michaela at this weekend in Philly, and you need to know Michaela. And it's just all of a sudden, you're bridging new connections, you're creating more momentum, more excitement, you're going out of your way to create value. The fastest way to become valuable is to create value between other people, right? So that is the key, is show people a genuine desire to add value to their lives, to show them that you care, and be effective in the process. And it goes a long way. That can really move the needle in so many great ways.
That's a great information. Help connect other people. That's the first time I've heard that. Nice. That's a nugget right there.
You know why that's important, Lancelot? And then we're gonna shut it down for today. Because they see the value in you, and it's not you just asking something, you're giving something.
Right.
So that's, and they will remember that more than they remember you asking for. Right. You guys, love you, man. I know, Lancelot, you're going to be heading out to Philly.
Yeah.
Congratulations again on everything you're doing. Congratulations, Jose, on everything you're doing. And I'm going to congratulate myself on everything I'm doing. So.
Yes, indeed.
You guys, God bless. And we'll see you guys soon. Remember, we're having a meetup in June 19th at Evergreen. So if you're interested in joining me, Lancelot, and some others, come down. We're going to be in New York City, June 19th, probably from 3 o'clock on. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Come down.
And we'll see Farrah there. She said she was going, right? All right. All right, guys. Take care.
All right. God bless.
Everyone who's in the room is all about giving. Everyone who show up here and who are in the room are just givers, and they just want everyone to become better and better entrepreneurs, better founders, better coaches, better givers. You are going to meet the best of the best in this room, and it's an intimate experience, right? Sometimes you go to events where there are hundreds or thousands of people, and here in the New York City Mastermind, it's an intimate experience. So you really get to know them. You get to know them as people and not as just a number that's out there. So I highly recommend New York City Mastermind to anyone.